Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa Mauve. So, I kind of got stuck in an endless loop because I could not figure out why it wasn't letting me progress to move on in the story. So I've spent the last 15 minutes trying to find what I missed in the investigation, and it seems to be the ladder in the library that I seem to have missed. I hope this is the last thing because I couldn't find anything else at all, so... But I am very excited to get back into this. I don't know if this chapter is the same length as chapter 1, so I don't know if we're gonna get a motive in this video. We might. We'll find out. But anyway, I am really excited to hop back into this game and to see what chapter 2 has in store. Anyway.
There's a ladder here. Is it there to make it easier to get the books out?
I think this isn't a ladder, but a step ladder.
Isn't that the same thing? Let's look at the core issue.
Is that so?
If the ladder wasn't here...
Kizuki then stood in front of the bookshelf, raised her chin, and stretched her arms above her head. Her fragile white fingers barely touched the bottom part of the book placed at the top shelf of the bookshelf.
I guess I can safely take the books out of the bookshelf this high. If you try to forcefully pull it out in your current state, you might slip and lose it.
I'm glad this exists. It makes it a bit more convenient to use. Yeah, that was it. I was genuinely just wandering around for 15 minutes. I couldn't figure out what it was, but that was it, apparently. It looks like we're done investigating the second floor, so let's go back to the diner. Okay, did everyone do well during the investigation?
Hi.
Yes. First, I didn't see any objects that could be used as weapons. There's a pool! A pool! We can do a party! A pool party! Oh, this guy. Oh, but it's such a standard school swimming pool. Wouldn't it be no fun in a place like that? It's not like you've ever enjoyed a party, so saying something like that has no credibility.
There was a library, too. It was a huge library. I don't think we'll ever be bored. No. Even if there was something like that, I think it would be too boring.
I suggest you take this opportunity to develop an interest in reading. By cultivating your inner self, you can foster mental maturity.
Oh, I can't. I can't even read a chitter post that's more than 3 lines long. Even in a situation like this, reading books, that's impossible.
Disagree, Hiyori. Girl. Does anyone know where Jumanji is? I might have seen her last just before she was sucked into a book. Are you saying she was reading a book in the library? Yeah. While I was at the library, she didn't move a muscle and just flipped through the bookshelves. With so many books, it's no wonder her eyes are wandering. I guess I'll have to go see her face later. Okay, thanks. That's kind of funny. It's like, oh, I guess I have to go see her face.
By the way, where did Justin go?
Upon hearing this, it turned out that aside from the people who had definitely been left out in the search, Tadaira and Jumanji, there was one more empty spot. I wonder if he's not noticeable because he speaks so little. Misaki, you were with him. Do you know anything? Oh, it's nothing. I asked him to do something.
You asked him to do something. What?
I think it's better to show than to explain, so I'll put that aside for now. I still have more to say. What is it? To begin with, Misaki then lowered her head and took out something like a large box from under the desk. What is that? Huh? The weapons. Upon closer inspection, I could see that it was a safe.
Weapons?
I told you earlier, I'm just gonna take everything back just in case. I swept away not only the kitchen knives, but also the wires and carving knives from the storage room. Misaki opened the safe. As she said, it was filled with deadly items. It would certainly be a good idea to get rid of anything that could potentially harm people. It's a good choice, as those aren't items that would normally be used. The intentions are good, but where do you plan to store them? If it's not maintained in a reliable manner, it is ultimately meaningless. That was the problem. At first, I was thinking of getting rid of it in the incinerator or something. Monokuma was threatening and saying that it was vandalism and such. And I thought everyone would be against keeping it in my personal room. It's definitely unfair. No matter how much of a leader you may be, we can't just freely hand over a weapon. So I was worried about that. That's when I discovered the safe. Misaki then took something out of her pocket.
2 keys?
That's right. This is a safe that requires 2 keys to open. The ultimate engineer really knows her stuff. If we keep it here, you won't be able to take the weapon out by yourself, right? Yeah, I guess that's kind of a smart idea. Misaki closed the safe door, put 1 key in each of the 2 keyholes, and turned it. After locking it like this, and then, after taking out both keys, she put only one of them back into the keyhole and turned it. The key only rattled as if caught on something and wouldn't turn. Do you see? You can't open it with just 1 key. Wouldn't it work if I kept the safe and the keys were kept... What? Sorry, my eyes are hurting for some reason. Wouldn't it work if I kept the safe and the keys were kept by 2 other people? It's definitely a safe choice. I understand. Who are you gonna give those keys to? Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'll think about it some more before this meeting ends. Oh, and I found one more thing. The large bathhouse was open, you know. You mean the one across from the diner? The one with the blocked entrance? Yeah, that's right. I went in, it was spacious and nice. I've never had the chance to wash in such a nice place in my life, so I wanted to soak right away, but I could barely hold back.
I was curious about that place, and it's finally open. I should go there sometime. Oh, or should we just go with our group? It'd be fun to take a bath together.
Oh, so this is part of a camaraderie building initiative? I agree.
Just in case, I'm saying this, but men go in separately. Do you think I'm crazy enough to suggest this to you guys?
Oh, I see. That's not too bad. I thought it would be a special experience to encounter it in its natural state, just as it was when it was born on this earth. You mean naked?
What? Are you crazy? You pervert, you piece of trash. Die, just die.
No, I think there's some misunderstanding.
You're too honest about your desires, Tomoe. But even so, aren't you afraid of the consequences of revealing so openly? Naturalness. Pursuing that as well is a romantic thing. Perhaps people wearing clothes, facing each other, might be quite a ridiculous thing.
Again, what the hell are you talking about? Since you suggested a pool party, I figured you wouldn't mind that kind of activity. What are they talking about right now? Okay, I get it. Stop. Don't make things weird. Tomoe makes everything weird. Tomoe seemed to want to protest more, but in the end, he slid back into the chair with a truly resentful and sad expression on his face. It's over now, right? Yeah. Actually, I haven't found out anything else, so that's the end of the conversation. Even in the newly opened place, we still haven't found a clue to escape. I didn't expect much, but I guess I shouldn't be discouraged. We only just got started. If we dig a little deeper, won't we find something? As Mikawa said, this is just the beginning, so there's no need to be so negative. That's right. Let's do our best, within our capabilities, as usual. Is that so? Yes. Let's concentrate on the search. We have no other choice. At that time, Sarashino was nodding his head with a somewhat drowsy expression. I heard the diner's door open behind me. Oh, it's Justin. The one who opened it was Justin, whom was mentioned a little while ago. But not only Justin. Oh! Tadira's here. We haven't seen her in a long time. Tadira?
I hope you've been doing well, everyone.
Sudden appearance. While I was carefully choosing what to say, Tadira calmly walked to her seat and sat down. Is this the job you left to Justin? Yeah. I asked Justin to focus on escorting Tadira. I said this because I thought it would be a solution that could simultaneously resolve all the complaints that came up before investigating the second floor. Persuasion, success. She decided to act with me. Justin and Tadira and I decided to have breakfast together only in the mornings. This should be okay, right? Was this why they were talking alone in the classroom earlier? In fact, Justin will be able to build more trust by protecting Tadira. Oh my goodness, Tyra. Oh. that brought me flashbacks of Akane. Managing only Tadira allowed for focused care, providing better conditions than being forced to participate in group activities to Justin. Certainly, I can feel at ease knowing that she is under the protection of Justin, who possesses the formidable military might for Tadira. Misaki, you've been thinking hard. However, it doesn't seem like a very positive situation to view Miss Tadira only as a target for protection.
It's okay. I gave him permission.
Miss Tadira?
I don't like being killed. I also don't like being seen as easy prey to someone. But more than anything else, I hate being locked in a room. If I can't reach out to you like this, I won't be able to get through this situation at all. So please take good care of me. I've chosen the path of reaching out my hand.
Although Tadira was speaking vaguely, judging by the silence that had descended upon the diner, it seemed as though everyone understood the true meaning behind her words. Please don't kill me. That is what she means.
Yes.
Okay, I'll leave this one key with you, Justin.
No.
Key. Say what? Well, you see, Misaki repeated the story she had told us before. I thought you were the right person for the job. I don't need to explain myself, do I? I understand. I'll take the key. Justin took the key from Misaki to put it in his pocket. The other one is... Ego. Do you want to take it? Looking at this, it seems like you only give it to problematic people? You're just showing off, saying, oh, I'm such a generous and tolerant leader.
Even when you speak, it makes her look better.
It's only natural that you don't give it to someone who will follow your will obediently. You must not provide even the slightest pretext that could allow the key to return to your own hand. So people who are too close are disqualified as candidates. I'll take the key. It'll be well hidden. Ego also took the key from Mizaki's hand and put it in her pocket. Okay, so that's the end of the matter for now. Now that we've got some new people, it feels like a waste to end it here. Does anyone else have anything to add?
How about we play a word chain game? Taking turns.
Playing word chain? You're terrible at it. Wasn't it 17 losses in a row?
17 losses out of 18? See how she only remembers her wins?
A glance at the important conversation was enough. I turned my gaze from the idle chatter and looked sideways at the person who had been on my mind since a while ago. Chitanda was leaning back against the chair, arms crossed. He was quiet, as if lost in thought. Normally, he would have made sensitive remarks without hesitation, and that would make emotions fluctuate a lot. Suddenly, he would have turned the mood upside down or hit the nail on the head, as he calls it. Will there ever come a day when we can figure out the reason behind his actions? I recalled the anger that had already faded and kept his nonchalant attitude in my eyes. Yeah, I don't trust him at all, so... If you can't see their face, not trustworthy. The meeting was dissolved without further incident. There's still plenty of time left until nighttime. I must continue my search diligently today, including the newly opened space. I think I hear a bustling sound coming from somewhere. So, with the free time, I don't know if the free times are translated. We could give it a try, but they might not be translated. If they aren't, we're just gonna go back to bed. Or maybe we could go check out what I could buy with the mana coins. I found a few of them while I was searching for a way to make this end, when I couldn't figure out why the story wasn't progressing. Okay. Can I go in the bathhouse? It's a huge bathtub. I should try soaking in it sometime. This is a huge bath. I should try dipping myself in later. When I went to Japan. When I went, we stayed at a hot spring, but the room had its own private bath, thankfully, because there's no way I would ever go to the public one. I just can't do it, but it was amazing. That's all I have to say. It was wonderful, even in like summer. Like, it was so hot because it was summertime. It was still so nice. I sat in there until I just could not sit in there anymore. I want to see if I can find Justin. Basically, I'm looking for Justin. Justin? Justin's not here. I could check his room. Is this Justin? This is Justin Blade's private room. It seems to be locked. So he's not there. How do I go? Where's the stairs again? I should know. It's the same layout as... What just happened? I didn't do that. What? What just happened? Okay. It's the same layout as Trigger Happy Havoc, but it's been so long since I played that game. Honestly, so long. I recently, not so much recently, like 6 months ago, I replayed a little bit of Super Danganronpa 2, which is my favorite of the main games. I'm very excited for 2x2. 2x2, 2x2, I don't even know. Whatever it's called. I'm very excited for it, and I keep checking to see if they're gonna release a date for it yet, but it still just says 2026. I have a lot of coins, so let's see what I could get. Red muffler. Whetstone. Foundation. Someone would like that. Goodbye. Listen, I get a cursed doll. Goodbye. Where's Justin? If I can't find him, I'm just gonna find somebody else. I don't know where he is. Where are the stairs? They're here, right? Yeah. Whew. Ugh, I'm so sleepy. I'm not sure how long the chapter is. I did not click that. It clicked for me for some reason. Alright, Jumanji's in here. Okay, every time I say her name, I just think of that movie. That was a good movie. Jumanji. I like that movie. I don't know where anybody is. It just shouldn't matter. I don't even know if these are translated, so I'm gonna choose Shoji. Yeah. Talking about eating. Should I spend time with Shinano? Yes or no? So it does seem like they are not translated. I'm gonna say yes, but it's not translated, so. Naran de Shimshimadan. Okay. Do I want to give Shinano a present? No. I think that's what it's asking me. Oh, it is translated. Hey, Shinano.
Yes. I found you, Miyuki. I was wondering where you were, but here you are.
This is a surprise. I was looking for you too. What's wrong?
You said, I'm surprised, but you don't look like it at all. Oh well, if that's a trait Miyuki has, it's something worth noting.
So, what did you need me for? I can guess something along the lines.
Oh, that? I was walking around doing interviews, nothing else to do.
Did you think it would be a good idea for a topic about meeting ultimate students?
Sure, that makes it easier for me. We have an extraordinary group of talented people who will lead the development of Japan and the world of the future, right? I don't know if you realize it, but every time they announce the students they've scouted, our respective internet communities go wild. It's pretty much covered by the media. It's not as big of an event as the Nobel Prize show, but it's still a big deal. So you get the picture, right? Big names in their respective fields who will leave their mark on history. It's a sight to behold, a conversation, and in some cases, spending time with them. It's hard not to get excited.
I know how you feel.
For some reason, you don't sound very excited. You're as calm as ever, Miyuki.
While I tried to put the best possible spin on the potentially offensive remark, the boy in front of me was not waiting.
So, without further ado, I don't know about talent, but anyway, he's Miyuki Nozomi, a new student in Hope Speak Academy. He showed up a day after the ceremony and was questioned very aggressively.
You are so eager. I was sure you'd be exhausted given the circumstances, but you're still so energized every time you record. Because my elbow is so itchy. I think it's eczema. It's driving me crazy. Anyway. And it doesn't help, like I have it leaning against my chair. That's probably not helping.
Thanks for the compliment. I can't get in touch with the outside world, let alone broadcast live, but it's my job, so I can't give up talking to the cameras. I'm just doing my job. If we're released from here, I can use it as evidence. Then I can do a little editing and put it on YouTube.
Oh god. This voice. This voice is so hard. And I say that, but I do this to myself because I end up doing it in almost every fangan ever since Danganronpa Another. Oh, I still do it. But it does it like, it's not good on my throat.
It'll be useful in many ways. Interviews are more about the latter, fulfilling my own selfish desires and fulfilling a promise I made to my viewers. And consider it a little informational. Of course, if you don't agree, I won't do it. I've asked almost all of them, and so far I've gotten 2 people telling me to stop bothering them.
I had a vague idea of who those 2 might be.
I don't think you'll say no, but just in case. Your face, voice, and questions will be recorded. Do you agree?
Well, I don't see any reason to disagree. It's okay to record it.
Great, that's 1 more person. Smooth. Thanks for agreeing.
But using me as an interview subject is a little problematic, don't you think?
Huh?
What you would want to hear about the subject of the interview is how they're engaged in. How did they get to such a position? Oh, okay, I see what it's saying. It took me a second. What abilities do they have? What life have they lived? Isn't that the case? I don't think there's anything I could say here. I want to tell you everything that I have in my mind, but I can't tell you the memories that I don't have.
Well, it's not like I haven't thought about it. You're a student who doesn't recognize his own talent, so I wondered if asking you these questions will give you a meaningful answer. The answer is, I still need to interview you, and that doesn't change.
I'm curious. Why?
Because, you know, it's pitiful to not question someone who doesn't remember anything. Even though the culture in this country is serious, we have to eradicate it ourselves.
I didn't know you had such an emotional reason.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of a shame that you're skipping out on an interview because you don't think you're gonna get one. The second reason is, you never know, I might pick up on something in your head during the conversation. Clue to your identity, or at least a fragment of a lost memory.
Sure. Then I better tell you what I know, right? Yes, although the viewers may not like it much, we are classmates who enter the same school. Even if all I can do is chat in front of the monitor, if it can help, then of course I will. Saying that, Shinano raised his thumb. That is quite the noble attitude. I should be grateful for that. Let's begin right away.
Did you feel motivated after my hopeful speech? Then let's change places.
Places?
I try to shoot these interviews in the person's private room whenever possible. Apparently, their private rooms are decorated to match their talents. I also wonder what the private rooms of an undiscovered talent looks like.
It's basic. Probably similar to the Ultimate Lucky Student, right? That was Iwata was the Ultimate Lucky Student, right?
It's a bit awkward to do a video like this in public. Isn't it the best facility because it's soundproof?
So you want to come to my private room? This is the kind of thing that lures you in with a good reason and then tries to stick a knife in your throat while you're off guard.
No ominous words, please. I understand that the situation is such that suspicion is inevitable, but
Yes, I realize that your suggestion comes from a place of pure goodwill. It's just a suspicion. I'm not treating you like a prospective murderer, so relax.
No, it's me who's leading us into an ominously closed space. I'll do everything I can to avoid raising your suspicions.
Okay. I don't have anything to mess with in my private room, so shall we move?
Sure, let's get going.
With that, we started walking to the private room. That's good. I'm glad that the free time events are translated. That's pretty awesome. After the interview, I said goodbye to Shinano, but I don't know if I'm gonna keep picking Shinano because I just can't do his voice. Or that's my own fault. I still want to find Justin. There's plenty of time left, so let's meet someone. Okay, let's find Justin. Alright. I also don't want to spend so much time just wandering around, doing nothing and just wandering, you know what I mean? So I might this time try to find somebody who is on the first floor. So we have Ukyo is here. No one is here. I shouldn't be surprised. Check the diner. What's her name again? Hiyori? I'm still gonna be a little bit rusty on the names. But I think I kind of remember things more the more I play of this. Like I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. That's what happened. Oh, Rion. Like I recognize him, but I don't remember his name. But I probably should because it's basically Leon, isn't it? His name is Leon. I'm looking for Justin, basically. Because Justin is my favorite. Wonder if anyone's in here. Problem is, like, I wish I could, like, look at a map and see if I could find where people are. Could I do that? How do I open the thing again? Shift. Can I see where they are? Oh, I can! Amazing. I can see where they are. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Cool. Okay, so he's in class 2A. That's where I'm gonna go. But that's pretty awesome. I could just I'm gonna save real quick. But it is pretty cool that I could just see where they are. That oh, then I don't need to be wandering around like a lost puppy. Okay. And just doing nothing other than wandering around. I like that feature. Alright, let's find class 2A. Over here? Yeah.
No.
내게 뭐래요? 저스틴과 시간을 보내볼까? Yes? 잠깐만이다. Okay. Justin Blade. Well, I want to give him a present. I don't think I have a present that he would like, so no. Huh. No, I didn't get his free time event though. Darn. I'm disappointed. I wanted his free time event. I guess I have to give him a gift for that, but I don't think I have something that he would like.
Hello, this is the school broadcast. It's 10 p.m. nighttime. The diner will soon be locked and off limits. Well then, sweet dreams. Good night.
At the end of the day, I had no income. When this happens, should I still consider the process more important than the result? I decided to sleep and think about it tomorrow. Okay. Well, I got Shinano's free time event. That was pretty good. Okay, let's think about it after we sleep.
Monokuma-chan. I have been exposed to mystery novels, mystery games, and mystery comics since I was 7 years old. Corpses with their limbs torn off and rolling around. Corpses with their internal organs ripped out. Corpses with their eyes gouged out and their tongues cut off. They have been my good friends since I was a child. But there is one thing that I can't just understand until now. Why would a murderer go to such lengths to create a sealed room?
I see what's happening here. We're gonna have a locked room mystery. That's what it's gonna be, isn't it? The murder is gonna be a locked room.
I can't understand. If a person is found dead in a locked room, it is understandable that someone has tricked them and not seen as the victim's suicide. There are even many incidents where people are stabbed in the back or shot in the back, and there is no effort to frame it as suicide. So why would a criminal use such a trick? I've been reading every mystery I can, from east to west, past and present, trying to understand this, but none of them have given me the answer. I was disappointed. This isn't what I've been reading mysteries for. So, I went ahead and did it. I actually went and did it. A late night, a dark alley, a lone pedestrian hurried along. The perfect prey laid before me. After swinging my front paw and knocking them down, I brought them to a nearby warehouse, threw them inside carelessly, and locked them in. And after waiting for them to wake up, I asked, why was the locked room made? The only answer I got was that they didn't know either, so they wanted me to release them quickly. In the end, I safely escorted that person home. Wow, this isn't easy. Will I be able to find the answer tonight?
Okay, Monokuma, I'm pretty sure he just gave up the death. Not so subtle hint, I suppose.
Hey everyone! It's morning, 7 a.m., wake up time. Now, let's get on with our lives.
I think I had a similar dream last time. It was full of some incredibly boring nonsense. Let's go to the dining hall first. Okay, let's go. Dining hall for some breakfast. I wonder what they have for breakfast. No one's saying anything. It's so quiet. The clock was pointing to 8 a.m. In the end, she didn't arrive. Isn't it about time you knew this about her? If you were not satisfied, she's the type who would never listen to other people's words, even if she risked dying. It would be strange to have a glimmer of hope. You're really good at describing yourself if you listen closely. Huh? Why me? In the end, Jumanji seemed to have made up her mind to not join us for the meal. As Shitanda had said, the result was entirely predictable, but Misaki looked sullen, as if she was deeply disappointed. Yeah, it can't be helped. I'll try harder. Anyway, let's get back to the main point. Let's take turns talking about what we're gonna do this morning. Ugh, I guess it's finally time to make a plan. What happens if I say something and I don't keep doing it? Well, you will be waiting for me to scold you. Of course, I won't do anything physical, so don't worry and tell me. That's the scariest part. Really? How can I do anything more than nag you guys? No. Shouldn't some sort of disadvantage be imposed? Discipline without sanctions tends to become lax. Strict management is essential, with clear consequences, even for minor ones. Rules and regulations are ultimately to prevent worst-case scenarios. It doesn't seem like something we take too seriously, does it? Yet I know that isn't true. Miss Misaki truly cares about her classmates. I understand that you are not easily able to use coercive means, but this is by no means something to be taken lightly. Come on. No matter how you think about it, it's a trivial matter. So why are you so strict, serious, and earnest about it? You have no friends, do you? Oh? How did you know? Actually, I was bullied all the way through middle school and didn't have any classmates I could share my feelings with. Oh, I can't believe this is actually real. I'm speechless. Tomoe, I understand what you mean, but it's only been a day since we started this plan. Just try it out and fix it if anything comes up. There's no need to be so uptight right now. You're right. I think I was a little bit on edge because I thought it was a matter of life and death. He seems to be particularly obsessed with the keyword life. A murder just occurred, so perhaps that's why he can't feel at ease. Tomoe readily yielded, but the opposition did not easily subside. It's not an incorrect statement. If you don't value the first step of a task, then what do you value? Sarashina? Without coercion, wouldn't it be as empty as the promise we made on the first day? To not kill anyone? A leader must know how to handle rewards and punishments effectively. This feels like it's starting to get a bit odd, doesn't it? I'm a little shocked. Sarashina, this is the first time I've seen you do that. I don't know how my stereotypical image might have appeared to you, but I'm very serious about seeking answers from Misaki. I wish people would stop looking at this as if we're performing a show.
Misaki, you probably have some thoughts on this too. Let's hear what you have to say first.
Miss Misaki, remember that your goal is to keep us safe. So, it would also be a great duty to ensure that I and the others do not feel anxious.
Are you saying that you feel anxious?
It's more than that. Why don't you just say it instead of beating around the bush? He's telling you that he's scared. Yeah, the friend from yesterday is the corpse today. It wouldn't be strange to be scared. Your speech is not proper. If you're going to point out that my opinion is nothing more than nitpicking driven by emotion, I'd appreciate it if you stop. Shouldn't a leader who has once lost trust provide us with a reassuring situation? No, I'm just saying this because it objectively looks scary. Do you think I'm saying it because I want to pick a fight or something of that nature? But even from my perspective, your complexion doesn't look very good. You must have seen wrong. I've learned throughout my life that from the Sarashina family the mindset of maintaining a clear and calm mind. Me having emotional fluctuations? That's nonsense. Oh, I don't know about that, my guy.
I feel like the atmosphere is getting more and more hostile, you guys. How about we put down the spears for now?
Oh, it's another argument after all. Why does it seem like we fight whenever we get together, ever since yesterday? Why are you always here? You keep picking fights every time.
ふざけているのかい？
I don't really have any ill feelings towards Kuzu. I said I wanted to be with you guys. Don't you understand my feelings?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't think this through. This is something I need to think about, so let's first figure out how to relieve this atmosphere.
Yeah, there's no need to fight. Just calm down, calm down.
いいよ。
Okay, then I'll take advantage of the opportunity and start by searching the AV room. Thanks to the efforts of several people to somehow manage the situation, things got back on track. There was a lot of talk about things like, I'm going to rest until lunchtime, or I'm going to the bathhouse, I want to work out in the locker room, etc.
いいね。
Okay, everything's been received. This is easier than we thought, isn't it?
Since we're deciding what to do with the time frame until lunchtime, rather than a long period of time like the whole day, there are not many options. Rather, I think this point works in our favor to make up our minds. I think this is fine.
よし。
Alright, then we're disbanded. Everyone, please try to keep your promises. Oh, and someone wake up Kana.
Hey, Kana. Sleepy. 8 a.m. is harsh.
I'm also sleepy. I was lost in thought as I listened to Kana's voice, which I couldn't tell if it was her sleep or something else. I answered Misaki's question by saying I will tour the entire school building and received an understood response. If this question is meant to prevent students from plotting evil schemes, would such a broad and vague answer really be of any use? Probably not. Having reached this point, I even considered raising my hand and asking Misaki the question, but Misaki would not have been unaware of that to this extent. There was clearly a purpose that would be inconvenient to tell others. I'll have to witness Misaki's plan a little more. I'm back in my room. As I said before, I should definitely focus on the overall investigation, right? I suppose. Let's see who we can find. We have Rian over there. Okay. Gym. Infirmary. I'm not going there. I don't want to go see him. Okay. Bathhouse. Hallway. Library. Maybe we'll go to the library and talk to Ukyo. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to talk to Ukyo a little bit. I like him as well. So he's another character who is doomed to die. I don't know. I mean, I would like to try to get the free time events, but part of me is also like, should I just sleep the day away? It would make the story progress faster, but I would miss the free time events. So I don't know. I'm gonna see if I could try to get some here and there for characters that I like. I just hope for the best. Ideally, I would want to get Justin's, but it seems I didn't get them last time, so maybe next time. Ah, Yuki. Yuki-kun. Do I want to hang out? Yep. Get the okie dokie. Napper. 그렇지. Okay. Okay. Do I want to give him a present? No. Okay, okay. We're getting it. Nice. So Justin is just playing hard to get.
どうしたんだい？
What's wrong? Nothing is wrong. I just was curious to see if you were thinking about something.
そうだね。
Was that the reason for your staring? Maybe you should have said something. I felt like I should not have interrupted.
ま、
I appreciate the thoughtfulness. What I've been trying to do is my own mediation. It's a meditation to calm the mind. I'm not a professional, so I'm not going to boast about it, but I do find joy in it, because it's a good way to calm my emotions. Come to think of it, your talent is calligraphy, so it's definitely important to keep things calm.
そうだ。
It's true what they say. The essence of calligraphy is the mastery of the landscape. Holding the brush with a calm mind, like water, without any agitation, is a virtue when facing the canvas. This is the skeletal aesthetic that has been passed down from generation to generation in the house Sarashina. No one who wears the Sarashina name can defy it. The house Sarashina?
おや？
Oh, didn't I mention that? Oh, I don't often talk to you alone like this in the first place.
ま、
Well, it's not something I'm really proud of, and I've never shown it in front of everyone. Sarashina family has been recognized as a prestigious family in the traditional art world for several centuries. Perhaps because they benefited from bloodline, everyone in the family excelled in some field, such as painting, sculpture, crafts. Because of this, it is a close family whose principle is to only marry artists. Jeez. It would be undesirable for someone who is not an artist to be included in one's bloodline. My father was a painter specializing in landscape paintings, and my mother was a sculptor. It's nothing to brag about, but they were both famous people in the art world. That's quite the family you have, with only prestigious people altogether. Of course, even within the same bloodline, there are differences in skill. There is a wide range of talent, from those who can make the people fulfilled to those who have made a name for themselves both in Japan and abroad. The bonds between relatives are not very deep, as there is a widespread tendency to view each other as competitors. It is pretty unfortunate.
残念だけど。
No one thinks this is a good thing, but unfortunately, the patriarch of the family encourages it. It's not going to end unless the generation changes. He wasn't that kind to begin with, but he seems to have become twice as nervous due to what happened to his uncle. His uncle? Did he get into some kind of trouble?
そうだ。
Everything was a big deal. You could call him the prodigal son of the family. He was gifted with talent, but he was unwilling to work hard, much to his grandfather's displeasure. He, like me, was a calligrapher by trade. Perhaps my grandfather had even greater expectations of me. Of course, I succeeded in becoming a member of Hope's Peak Academy, so I guess I can say that I fulfilled that expectation to some extent. Neither my grandfather nor myself are satisfied with this. I must not rest on my laurels, but strive to be more true to myself. But like, in that kind of situation where everyone has to be an artist, is that really what you want to do? What if someone wanted to be like, I don't know, a scientist or something? I say that because he's dressed like a scientist. But like, maybe he's just doing this because he feels like he has to in his family. Maybe it isn't what he actually wants to do. His face was his usual calm self, but I could read a sparkle in his eyes. It's a pretty big deal that you stepped foot in this school though, so don't feel too bad about it. I'm rooting for you.
おや？
I wasn't expecting a cheer, but I appreciate it. Sarashina closed his eyes and nodded. I wonder if it's a sign of gratitude. Nice. Nice. I need those skill points. After exchanging a few more words with Sarashina, I parted ways and returned to the private room. I'm gonna get Justin's free time event. It's gonna happen. Maybe Justin would like the whetstone. Does he have weapons? I can't remember what his talent is. Is he an assassin? There's plenty of time left, so let's meet someone. Okay, nice. Let's see. Who's next? Next? on my list. I'm pushing the wrong button. Listen, I never claimed to be a professional at games, okay? I just do this for funsies. Oh, there's an event in there. Let's go to the diner then, actually. That's good. I like this map feature. It says there's an event going on in the diner, so should we go there? Probably. Almost made it. What's going on here? This serious matter, Sergeant. Should I spend time with them? Yeah, it's an event. I want to know what this is. What are you guys doing? I saw a crowd of students huddled together in the diner. It wasn't mealtime, so what was going on? Searching. Dreadful thing escaped. Jadira was holding her hands together with an unusually anxious expression. She was always smiling brightly at everyone, but now... Not only that, but even Sarashina, who always maintained a calm demeanor, was frowning deeply.
I'm sleepy. I'm hungry.
Kana is Kana, as usual. Anyway, the situation seems quite dire. Could something serious have happened? Oh, it came out! Huh? A cockroach came out! Oh.
Fussy.
Fussy? Yeah, I'm probably too fussy. Trash like me is no better than a bug. No, but bugs might actually have more advantages. I knew that other people would find me more disgusting and repulsive than a cockroach. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry for being so helpless and stupid. I'll just disappear. I'll give up my private room to the cockroaches forever. Okay, Mr. Dramatic, calm down.
This too is a fuss.
However, there are no lies in Mr. Mikawa's words. Miss Tadira said that she found cockroaches in the dining hall and the kitchen.
That's right. I saw it. No, rather than seeing, I felt it crawling up my hand while I was rummaging through the kitchen's cabinets looking for some snacks.
Tadira shook her head in disgust. That is my nightmare. I'm sorry, no way. I do not do bugs in any capacity. Maybe I'll do like a butterfly. I like butterflies. Ladybugs are okay too. I've had ladybugs land on me before and it was fine. But like everything else, no. Spiders, no. Cockroach, nope. Those horrible lanternflies, squish on sight. Okay, everything about them is awful. Cockroaches. The classrooms are like that too, and overall, this school is quite old compared to its reputation. I wonder if that's like a little hint that this takes place like in the future, like way past the events of Trigger Happy Havoc, you know? It wouldn't be all that unusual for a cockroach to call out from somewhere. It's definitely a big deal that there are cockroaches in the kitchen. Not really anywhere else, though. This could be interpreted to mean that, beyond simple disgust, kitchen hygiene has completely collapsed. The gravity of the situation was easily understood, as I had to eat food that might have been bitten by a cockroach. Ugh. Oh, no. No, when talking. I have protect mission, not just Tadira, everyone. So, that's what to find. Have you tried spraying insecticide? Or maybe looking for an entry point? There must be a hole where the cockroaches can come in and out. Found pesticide, warehouse. Blocked the drain, everything, holes. But once again, I saw it. Usually I eat my meals as quickly as possible so as not to stand out and make others uncomfortable. Oh, Jesus, this guy, I can't. He reminds me so much of in Danganronpa Antebellum Lockdown of Maiko. Like, they're just basically the same person, and I can't deal with it. It's so, like, okay, stop now. But today I was so hungry that I had no choice but to sneak out to the diner, and I ran into Tyra and Justin. After that, a cockroach passed by. Now that I think about it, Mikawa, I think you'll be the most helpful. Since you're the ultimate freighter. Have you ever worked in environments where there are lots of bugs, like building, cleaning, or construction work? Freighter? What is a freighter? How do I catch that? I hate bugs second more than anything in the world. Cockroaches, of course, but also spiders and caterpillars, mosquitoes, ants, parasites. Ugh, I'd run away immediately if I ever saw anything like that. Of course, I blame myself for being such a disgraceful and pathetic act, but then I would return to the scene again. I decided not to bother asking what he disliked the most. Then, Sarashina, what are your thoughts? Wait, Sarashina, are you okay? Sarashina's complexion is unusually pale. No one likes bugs. Except maybe Gonta. As I voiced my concerns, Sarashina spoke a little faster than usual, as if pouring out his thoughts. I am only paying great attention and concern to the school's food safety and hygiene. It seems clear that this matter must be firmly investigated by Monokuma, who calls himself the headmaster and teacher of the academy. Additionally, we will need to implement thorough and complete quarantine procedures throughout our diner and kitchens going forward. Yeah. Let's not worry about it since he said he's fine. He's not fine. He's dying inside. Okay, so spraying pesticides or blocking holes isn't enough to stop cockroaches. I don't think this is a problem that can be solved right away. Then, at least, shouldn't we find that insect that climbed on my hand? And that's when it happened. They're over there at the window, that window. Mikawa let out a piercing scream. If only the announcement had been on, people would have thought a body was found at the diner. Mikawa's trembling index finger pointed to none other than the diner's window right behind Kana. In there, a pair of cockroaches appeared out of nowhere and were crawling along the wall, scurrying side by side. A pair. Unexpected. Most likely one of two. Quickly escaped. Stay still. Never startle. Cockroach. And without anyone noticing the tension, Kana nonchalantly waved her hand and blew up the cockroach. She's just like, oh, shut up, people. Stop, I'm trying to sleep. It was indeed a smashing skill worthy of the ultimate badminton player. It's still moving. A cockroach that was crushed in Kana's hands, and even though its stomach was burst, it was still writhing. Ew! Sarashina's face turned pale for a moment when he saw that, and then completely white. Others might not have seen it, but I caught myself losing my composure in a very brief and subtle moment. I understand now. You're afraid of bugs. I didn't expect that. Everyone has likes and dislikes. Strictly speaking, bugs are just a bit closer to being disliked. I wish you wouldn't dwell on my shy aspect. Above all, don't you think that seeing such a sight would be unpleasant for anyone? No, I didn't mean to bring it on purpose. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. Mikawa suddenly started vomiting, shook off my worries, and ran out of the diner, somewhere in a hurry. Is he okay? Probably in the bathroom. Miyuki, some tissue. Oh, right. Kana wrapped the cockroach in the tissue I handed her, crushing it thoroughly. After washing her hands, she picked it up again. Why? And throughout the entire process, only annoyance and fatigue were visible on Kana's face. I'll throw it in the toilet. Now it's over, right? Yes, it seems to be finished. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome.
You deserve it.
Kana left the dining hall, waving the hand that wasn't holding the tissue. And only the 4 people who had been making a fuss to catch the cockroach were left in this place. Anyway, the matter is settled. Confronting Monokuma, urging management.
Yes, that would be great. Oh, and thank you, Miyuki.
No, I didn't do anything. Well, actually, we didn't do anything either. Well, that's fun. I like that. I'm just gonna go to bed now. I'm not gonna do a free time event after doing that kind of event. I know that we technically can, but I don't want to waste too much time, so that's not my room. Where's my room? Is that me? That's Hitomi's. That's not me. Where's my room? It might just be easier for me to find somebody. Yep. Because I have no idea which one's mine. I'm just gonna talk to the first person I see. Okay. Kizuki, you're up.
나랑 얘기?
With me? Do I want to give her a present? Nope. Okay, nice.
Hello, Miyuki. Do you wish to speak to me?
When I went to talk to Kizuki, she greeted me with her usual soothing voice. Yeah, because there's nothing else to do. I just wanted to talk to you.
Really? That's nice. Then choose. What do you want to talk about?
Choose. Is there a choice?
I'm sure there's a lot of stories you'd like for me to tell you. Choose which one you want to hear first.
Kizuki extended 3 fingers to me, as if she had them ready.
The contents for each one are a secret, so it'll be random. You can choose anything.
Well then, I'll start by listening to the index finger.
Okay. Coincidentally, you picked the most basic one.
Something basic?
You'll see.
Kizuki cleared her throat, making a small noise, and then...
Look at me in the eye.
Huh?
Please, look at it.
I stared into Kizuki's bright red eyes for a moment.
But don't stare at it too much. It's a little surprising. Don't you think how strange it is for the human eye to be this bright red of color?
I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me from the start, but it was rude to comment on your appearance. Dude, Miyuki. Bother? It bothers you how she looks? What the heck?
You're right. Whether you're aware of it or not that matters. Have you ever heard of it? White hair, red eyes, and pale skin.
That's, albinism. I know that. Was one of those... Albinism.
Yes, that's correct. It's a rare condition that affects about 1 in every 7,000 people and causes the body to lose pigment due to a lack of melanin. Of course, not all albinos have light skin or hair, or have red eyes. Mine is just a little more severe.
I've heard of people having skin that looks more pink than white, or eyes that look gray or purple.
The reason the skin looks pink is because the blood vessels are showing through the skin instead of the subcutaneous fat. It's a trait that usually seen in men who have less fat than women. In the case of the eye, if there is some melanin left, it may appear to be a different color than red. To look red like me, you have to have almost no melanin at all, which means people like me are very rare. You're not responding. Are you bored?
A little bit. You won't stop talking about yourself, Kizuki. It's not that. It's a disease. I don't plan on saying anything too much because it would be rude of me. Miyuki, my guy, you have nothing nice to say about anything at all, do you?
However, would it excuse you for thinking of me as fragile glass?
I'm out of luck on this one. Realizing I was joking, I smirked.
Of course, a disease is a disease and there are inconveniences. I have extremely low vision, so glasses are a necessity, and I can't go outside at my own will. If I'm going to be outside for any length of time, sunscreen is a must, and wrap up tightly to avoid exposure to the skin. My clothes are bundled up, but it's still not enough. This is the outfit I only wear when I'm in the lab.
The lab?
Oh, that's where I work. I wish I could tell you about it now, but...
Kizuki raised her index finger to her lips. Like, every time he describes her, he just mentions how white she is. And I'm just like, dude. Must we every single time?
That's for another time. It's still the index finger's turn.
I'm not sure if the order matters. I'm sure Kizuki has her own ideas, so I'll let her go with it for now.
Other than that, I can't think of many other things that bother me. The most deadly thing is, and I've never been able to make friends.
Oh wait, does having a friend mean that it needs to be an individual who's human?
Seems pretty intuitive when you combine it with my talent, doesn't it? Animals.
You must have pets in your home.
My parents have a lot of them, so that their precious only child wouldn't be bored alone. 2 dogs, 3 cats, and 5
Squirrels? You can't have a squirrel as a pet.
1 foal, 1 parrot, and 2 ducks. 2 canaries, 3 rabbits, and a hamster.
Forgive me for asking, but do you have a nice home? Is he basically being like, is your house filthy?
Well, objectively speaking, it wouldn't be, right? The maids, cooks, butlers, and drivers who work at my house always say they're short on money.
What? The who? Who work where? Girl. Oh my god. That's quite the standard.
Just kidding. Was it not funny?
Rather than being funny, I don't know where to draw the line.
Oh, sorry. Aside from my parents, the only people I see are my employers, who always have to laugh at me. I never had a chance to practice my social interactions.
No, don't be sorry. I'm just a little overwhelmed by the sheer scale of the story. By the way, were you serious about the employees thing?
Yes, they all work at my house. Of course, I'm kidding about the part where I say I don't think my house is well. Without the support of my parents, research would have been quite difficult, so I will always be grateful to them.
Okay, I see.
What were you thinking? I'm the daughter of a rich man. Maybe we can get along?
What are you talking about? Of course not.
Oh, that was a joke too.
The joke seems too spot on. It's no cause for concern, but I think environmental factors played a role in the development of your talent.
That's not wrong. What if I didn't mind the sunlight and I went to elementary school or middle school without difficulty? What if I didn't have many animals in my home because my parents were inconsiderate or they couldn't afford them? I don't think you would have been able to earn the title of ultimate zoologist. The flip side of the coin is that I really love the white version of me, because it's become inseparable.
I see. Yeah, you can't really change that. You look nice.
Was that a compliment? Thanks.
We had a short, formal, but honest heart-to-heart. When I said she looked nice, I meant it. I am suffering from a symptom that I am only dimly aware of, amnesia, but I've never once thought of embracing it. Well, Miyuki, my guy, you also have white hair. I just hate to bring it to you. Aside from her acceptance, I thought Kizuki's attitude was mature and cool in its own right. Nice. Nice. I like doing these. I'm glad that they're here and they're translated. We chatted a bit more, then parted ways as I returned to the private room. After dinner, I returned to my room. Just now, as well as during lunch, my answer was that I would investigate the entire school exactly the same way as this morning. Misaki didn't say anything else about it, Perhaps there was a deeper intention behind it. Where should I look this time? As I was going through the numerous places that flashed through my mind, one place suddenly caught my attention. A place filled with countless books, where Jumanji might still be sitting, devouring the words. And there are so many things to read. Okay, let's go to the library. With this impulsive thought, I put my hand on the doorknob without hesitation. Okay, we'll do that. As I carefully opened the door and approached, I heard a rustling sound. Yeah, I just can't stand that character, Julian. I don't like him at all. If you're going to abandon Madame Renal, why not just cut ties away cleanly instead of leaving room for that to happen? Isn't that human aspect rather good? It makes Julian, who was portrayed as being only obsessed with success, more three-dimensional, doesn't it? After all, he's just a person. I don't know who's talking, so I don't know what voice to do. Well, it's true that the main character is interesting, but there can only be two people in this school with this dialect, this small, hushed voice, and this cultured conversation. I walked towards the sound of voices between the tightly packed bookshelves. What are you doing here? Miyuki? Oh, you're here too. Kizuki and Jumanji were crouching between the bookshelves while talking. It's the first time I've seen her converse so intimately with someone. I wonder if she didn't ignore me because the topic was books. Aren't you being too surprised? Didn't you hear the door open?
I heard it, but I didn't know it was you.
I approached them, bent my knees, and crouched down. I heard you were having a heated discussion.
It wasn't heated. Jumanji was reading The Red and the Black, and coincidentally, I've read that work too. By the way, what are you doing here?
I have several reasons. First, Jumanji, I came to see you. Me? Yeah, well, since you didn't come out this morning. What? Were you worried about something? Dangerous or not, I have no intention of doing what the girl says. So unless you're here to investigate, get out, quickly. Jumanji, apparently displeased with my topic, cut me off and completely shut me out. She's really being completely selfish. Well, of course, I'm planning to investigate. It doesn't seem like we can finish investigating this in just one day or two, right? That's what I'm investigating right now. You're just reading a book. Miyuki, my guy. He is something, isn't he? Is that the way it looks? Jumanji then rummaged through a pile of books next to her, took one out as if she was showing off, and thrust it at me. It was a book of quite an unusual design, housed in a white case. Hope's Peak Academy graduation album. There was no number written on the case. When I checked the spine of the book, I saw the words Hope's Peak Academy 37th graduation album were written in gold on the spine. What class was Makoto and them? I'm gonna look it up real quick. Hold on one second. Because I think it was 70, or am I misremembering? So it was Trigger Happy Havoc. I can't remember what class they were. Let me see if they have it here. 78. Okay, so class 78 was the Trigger Happy Havoc class, right? So that was way before. Way before. But I don't know if this 37th is like close to this current timeline, or if like it's way in the past there too. Where on earth did you find this? I saw it as soon as I came in. As soon as you came in? Oh, they were lined up in the front row of the bookshelf that you see as soon as you enter. When I heard that, I got up and headed towards the bookshelf near the entrance. There were a lot of white books with Hope's Peak Academy graduation album written on them. I was curious, so I took a few volumes and looked at them. Yeah, so he's not been investigating very well, has he? Seriously? They have such a strong presence. Why didn't you notice them when you came in? What does it mean to have a strong presence? That's right, there are so many books lined up with the exact same case, format, and thickness. That's a really bad design, that's all. You can't tell the difference just by looking at the case.
I want to see it too.
As I listened to Jumanji's voice from afar, Mizuki also became curious and walked over to me.
Yeah, Miyuki, they all look the same, just like you said. Since it's a well-established school, I guess they value tradition and such. It means that something has been consistently the same from the past till now. But these albums only go up to the 75th generation. Why aren't there any 76th onwards?
Yeah, that's weird. So that's even before Makoto. They were 78. I guess we haven't graduated yet.
Post Peak Academy is a 5-year program. So if that's true, we should be the 80th class. We're from the 78th class. That can't be. The graduation album should only contain up to the 73rd class.
So they're also 78?
どうやろな。
Early graduation, grade skipping, things like that. I don't know if Hope's Peak Academy has such a system. Jumanji had also quietly come this way before I knew it. Or what if all our memories of the past 2 years have disappeared? I wouldn't be surprised. That's a typical formula here. We firmly believe that we are just freshmen, but in fact, it has been 2 years since we entered the school, and in the meantime, the 74th and 75th classes have graduated. I said it was a joke, so don't take it so seriously. It's a ridiculous possibility, even from a common sense perspective.
Still, it's not completely impossible. It's creepy. Come to think of it, the mastermind possesses a powerful technology called memory erasure. I certainly hadn't heard of that possibility. So, does that mean I haven't grown at all in 2 years?
Girl, I hate to break it to you, but when you hit high school, you might not grow that much anymore. I'm sorry. I stopped growing when I was 12 in 6th grade. So I went from being one of the tallest kids in the class to one of the shortest. And I've stayed the same height since I was 12 years old. So that's usually when it stops. Especially, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes guys might grow more as they get into high school, but I feel like a lot of times girls don't as often. They might, I'm sure they do, but at least in my experience, I stopped in the beginning of middle school. I'm glad I didn't grow any further here. That's what you're focusing on? Actually, I hope the mastermind doesn't mess with other people's memories. There are quite a few things that are uncomfortable about this.
どうやろな。
It would be scary if I forgot everything I read in 2 years.
そうなんや。
So, do I look like I only read books? If this isn't an investigation, then what is it? Oh, haha. Yeah, you tell him. I'm sorry, but sometimes he can be the main character, Miyuki, he can be a little bit judgmental, let's be honest here. He's a tad bit judgmental. Jumanji puffed out her chest and looked straight at me. She must have been holding back what I said earlier. This might be helpful information. Jumanji kept staring at me. Now that our eyes have met, I don't even think about turning my head or eyes. What does she want? Sorry for doubting you? You did well?
な。
Thank you. I appreciate it. Only then did Jumanji turn her head and lower her gaze to the book. She is truly an unpredictable person.
I can't just sit still either. But where should I start investigating?
For easy viewing, had about starting from 0 based on the decimal classification system. I'll investigate from 990. I have no idea what he's talking about. What is he talking about right now?
Yeah, okay. It'll be faster if we look together.
Jumanji, are you perhaps interested in joining us?
ほんまに
As I just said, I'm currently investigating. I'm also doing my own thing, so don't misunderstand.
Right.
I have no idea what the two of them just talked about. What was he talking about? Decimals? And I'm like, what? You lost me. We continued our investigation, unconcerned with the passage of time, as we brushed off the dust that had accumulated on the books. Bing bong, bing bong. Bing bong, boom, bing.
Hello, this is a school announcement. It's 10 p.m. From now on, it's nighttime. The diner will soon be locked and off limits. Well then, sweet dreams. Good night.
What, already?
ほんまに
Time really flies.
Wow.
The three people gathered in the library each had a different yet identical reaction.
Miyuki, how are you? Did the investigation go well?
I saw Kizuki peeking out from behind the bookshelf. Well, sort of. I didn't really find anything significant. As luck would have it, the place I was looking for was literature. Time flew by while I was briefly looking at a book that caught my interest. There's still a mountain of stuff to dig through, but we can't just sit around and do nothing when it's already nighttime. Let's head back now.
でも I still want to look into it a little bit more.
If by any chance you asked me as well, I still have a lot of business left, so you two should head back. Why is everyone so enthusiastic about this investigation? Why are you asking that question, my guy? No, but really though, shouldn't he want them to be enthusiastic? At that moment, the library door opened with a creak, and soon a familiar voice was heard. Okay. The library's closed, you bookworms.
Misaki?
I came here because I thought Jumanji might be staying up all night, but I didn't expect her to bring 2 more people with her. Well, since it's late, let's do the reading tomorrow. Oh, you're mistaken. I wasn't reading, I was investigating. It's not like we didn't find anything at all. What does he have against reading? Really? I told Mizaki about the graduation album. That might be a hint. Even so, it's just a guess. Anyway, I think I'll find something more if I look around here, so I'm going to focus my investigation here for a while. You're not here to stay long because you like books?
That's not entirely wrong.
It's okay. I'll leave the investigation here to you 3. Look around on your own. Wouldn't it be okay to gather at a set time and investigate together? Then let's meet every evening after dinner like today. How about it?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm always here, so don't be noisy. Okay, good. Then everyone, let's go back to your private rooms.
Just a moment.
A creaking sound was heard along with Kizuki's urgent reply. As I approached, I saw Kizuki standing on a stepladder, pulling out a thick encyclopedia from the top row of bookshelves.
I'll just take this to my private room.
Are you passionate about the investigation or just want to stay up all night reading? What's the judgment?
You can think of it as both.
But then again, she's reading encyclopedias, so ugh. I read solely for fun. I just realized this. You guys must have been really bored. Misaki looked back and forth between me and Kizuki and smiled bitterly. I too appear to be standing there calmly, but in fact, I already have my hands have in my hands a few volumes of Russian literature that I have selected as I see fit. Honestly, a library at this time, I couldn't be happier. Wait, no, that wasn't her. Who said that? That was him, sorry. I can't really relate to you since I haven't read any books other than textbooks. Do you like books that much? Yes, they're wonderful. I'm surrounded by them right now. Isn't it obvious? Because it's fun.
I've always played in my room since I was little. I didn't really have anything to do, so I naturally started reading.
Well, maybe I find it fun, just like Jumanji? Actually, it wasn't a very confident answer. Why do I like books? Because they're wonderful. Why must you... Do you need a profound reason? Just because you do. There you go. That's a good enough reason. I should probably work out, go on patrol, and read a book in my spare time. I guess there's no harm in picking up a hobby. Anyway, just bring a few books. They'll be heavy, so don't bring too many. Okay. And then, Kizuki and I returned to our private rooms, each carrying a stack of books in our arms, while Jumanji carried a stack of books in her arms. After arriving at the private room, the first thing I did was put down all the books I was holding on the table. Even though I shook them off, the remaining dust blew away slightly. It is certainly encouraging to be so well supplied with means to relieve boredom in this living. Rather, it is quite welcome that, depending on one's mindset, they can spend the whole day doing nothing but reading books. However, returning to my private room like this, before falling asleep, I realize that my situation is not at all prosperous. Oh no, Iwata. I miss him. The last image of Iwata, which I had seen 3 days ago, which had momentarily faded, once again grabs my shoulder and stops me in my tracks. Death is always chasing me just one step behind. It's just that my senses have become dulled by countless stimuli. Let's sleep. Okay, I'm actually going to wrap up this part here. I know it seems to me like daily life is going to be long. Especially if I try to do free time events. I have a feeling it's going to be long. I do like to try to keep the episodes like an hour and a half, 2 hours maximum, only because like when I sit too long in this chair, my back starts to hurt. Maybe I'm just old now. But I do want to keep these episodes around this length every time. So it might be a hot minute before we actually get to the victim and the trial and things like that. The only one that will be the longest will be the trial, because even if I don't sit for the whole thing in one sitting, I will just combine everything into one big video for the trial only. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing how this progresses. I'm still nervous about my favorite characters, so because they always die, so we have to watch out for Justin. Mostly Justin. I like Ukyo as well. We gotta watch out for them, okay? But I do have a feeling that the Monokuma Theater kind of spoiled a little bit what the murder is gonna be. I think it's gonna be a locked room, so we're gonna see how that goes. I'm excited but also nervous. I do really enjoy this game, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. I like that this chapter is long, because the first chapter it was a normal length for a fangan, or even for Danganronpa in general. Sometimes Danganronpa chapters can go really long, but with the fangans, it used to always be like I could have like a set number of videos I knew would come before we get like the trial, you know, like when I played Danganronpa Another, it was always like video number 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 or whatever were always the trials. So like it always had like a formula, and this one was kind of similar except it was 5. But I do think this chapter is quite long, and now I'm just yapping about nonsense for 2 minutes straight. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.